Test 1, 2.
Are we on?
And we are live. We are live.
Welcome, welcome everyone. How are we doing? It's Thursday, November 5th already.
Let me share this real quick in the group.
Pre everything, but post election. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome, welcome. Don't forget to like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and comment along the way. Continue to chat with us for tonight. Welcome to our Anime Matsuri stream. My name is Deneice Lee, aka Trinity Reloads, and this is Mr. John Lee.
How's it going, everybody? It's going. I am just posting this link into the official Facebook group.
And definitely share this, please. We would love to have you be part of this chat on this Thursday evening. It's a beautiful night, by the way. OMG, how are we doing? Hello, hello, hello. And yes, post-election, but that's okay. It's still going, guys. It's still going. But we won't be going into politics here. This is all about you guys and what's happening with Anime Matsuri. So come chat with us. Make sure to, again, share, and comment along the way. We'd love to talk to you tonight.
How's it going, Stephen Klein? Got Dr. J Mac in the house.
Hey.
How's it going?
Andres.
I know. Jo Pedro. How's it going?
Jason.
88-hour man. What's up? What's up? It's Thursday. Thank you for being here. This is awesome. This is my escape from all the things that are just politics right now. I can't handle all that stuff.
It's a lot.
I'm not a political person, but it's everywhere. It's like in your face. So you just need to get away. This is my getaway. The movie theaters are closed and there's a pandemic, so it's not like we can just go anywhere. But yeah.
Whew.
Hey, what's up, Charles? What's up, Scout? How's he going?
We have a few subjects to talk go on today, so
I know it's going to be an exciting
should we
stream.
Get to it?
Yes, it will be. Let me just make sure I've
dotted everything.
What did I? Yeah. Make sure I have everything shared.
OMG. I still can't grasp that it's already November 2020.
It's November 2020. We are
almost
way into November. I know. We wasn't it just May a couple of weeks ago? I feel like this year there was some months that just lasted forever, and then some months just went by so fast.
Yeah.
It's November.
It did drag in the beginning. Let's just put it that way. I
know. Well,
it's getting a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, we just
the holidays have are going. We're going into the holidays.
Yeah.
I hope everyone had an awesome Halloween. By the way, woohoo!
I know, and we're heading into Thanksgiving territory, and then it's going to be all Black Friday, and then we have, I guess, the holidays.
Gosh, Christmas and then New Year's and then some.
Everything's happening so fast. I don't know, but yes, 2020, I agree. Can we all agree 2020 just sucked? I agree, 100%. There was
everything though.
Oh, some good things, but
yeah.
Generally speaking, 2020.
Well, I definitely think there were some lessons learned here through this whole year. So we'll have to do a recap at the end.
Yes. Did you guys?
Cyber Monday, yes, Jason.
I posted a video with a tour of Discovery Green and the Avenida Park. Did you guys check that out? If you haven't seen that video, it's a pretty cool video. It's it's in the channel there, and yeah, check it out, because we're going to be talking about a few things that were mentioned in that video.
It's a mini tour of the campus outside of the convention.
So
Outside of the convention center.
Yeah. So to give you guys a brief background, right? So back in 2006, this was 2006 in Houston. Actually, at the beginning of 2006.
Okay.
We were traveling to Japan, and we had been to Japan a few times, quite a bit actually, traveling for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years
in Japan, and there was many things about Japan that we enjoyed. It was many things. It was the culture, the people. Tokyo is such an exciting city. There's so much to see, and different parts of Tokyo are completely different. They're not the same. You can go from Shibuya to Akihabara to Shinjuku to Ikebukuro, and all these areas are just so different, even though they're in the same big, massive city. There's people everywhere, and it's pretty exciting.
I mean, you can literally walk 4 blocks down, and you're in a different area.
Yeah, and it looks different too.
Completely different.
It's the aesthetic, the feeling, the atmosphere is just, they're all different, which is very, very interesting. It's one of the things I love most about Tokyo. So anyway, we experienced a bunch of stuff. We have a lot of friends in Japan, and we had, even at the time. So our friends would take us and just, show us new things. Every time we're in town, we experienced new things.
Whether it be like an actual experience, like going to the temple, or going to eat, or going to a cafe. Yeah.
Yeah. So, needless to say, many times while we were in Tokyo, we asked ourselves, or we just thought to ourselves, wow, wouldn't it be awesome if some of our friends back in Houston could experience the same thing? I mean, we had friends, and then we had a company called Planet Zero, and it was like this Japanese-style arcade, and we would meet tons of people there.
Oh, and different kinds of backgrounds.
Correct.
All ages.
And we would all just talk and talk and talk. And in Japan, we figured, hey, this would be awesome. And back then, I remember when we brought this up, there was in Houston, there was 2 conventions that were happening. There was Shirokaze-con and there was Oni-con. And we went to both conventions, and our friend said, yes, just let's go there. It's like a piece of Japan in Houston. And we went there. And, they were great. They were great. There was cosplay, there was anime. There was a few things that we wanted to see in a convention, or we wanted to see.
I guess we anticipated a little bit, since we already went to Japan.
Correct. So you can imagine we have been going to Japan, for a few years. So our point of view was different from someone that wasn't going or hadn't been to Japan. So you can imagine. Anyway, needless to say, well, as the saying goes, if you want something, well, just go do it. There's no need to complain about it. So the reason we started Anime Matsuri in 2007 is because we felt, well, there was something missing, and we wanted to add to what was already in Houston. So we didn't see ourselves as competing with any other event, any other convention. We saw ourselves as adding to the experience, right? We were offering, or we were planning to offer, something different from the other conventions in Houston or in Texas, however you want to look at it.
From our experiences.
Yes. So we weren't interested in copying any other event. We were just interested in doing our own thing. We had never hosted a convention before. That was we
hosted a lot of these small events at Planet Zero, but
correct.
We didn't host a convention.
And my background is in theater and concerts and entertainment, but as far as like an anime convention, no. Let's go for it. So there was a few of us which formed the staff in the first year, and we hosted the event, and that was the point. The point was to add to the Japanese pop culture experience in Texas. So we brought our own unique spin to it, and There you go. That's how it started. And every year we would bring something unique, different from all the other events, just our own thing, and based on the experiences that we were having in Japan. We love, the authentic
For
Japanese
example,
experiences.
the things that we started doing that was different.
Well, I mean, we did quite a few things that are different. So, for back in 2000, so between 2007 to literally 2011 or 2012, we were. I mean, I guess we still do that now. We would go around Shibuya and different bars, different like live houses as they call them in Japan, and we would just see new and upcoming bands, indie bands, and there were so many awesome bands. And from there, we would pick bands. So we would have like a big name and a smaller
Up and
band,
coming.
up and coming band. And I thought that was amazing. Some of the bands we're bringing were really awesome, and many people hadn't even heard of them, or maybe just a few people or some of them. And like All Vampire, like Bespa Kumamero back then, Back On,
Fizz.
There was so
Mary's
many.
Blood.
Yeah, Mary's. I mean, there was so
The
many.
Charic Spin when they weren't,
There were so many bands that
Mainstream.
we brought that were not popular yet, and we just, hey, this awesome music, and we're sure our fans would like this. So
Then we also had, we're probably the first convention that had cars in the convention. So we brought that part of the culture, Itasha culture, performance vehicles culture in Japan. So it was very underground here.
I know.
And then we also brought, I think like the club night atmosphere. It was definitely something we didn't see all that often or at all. At a convention. It was not, it wasn't, usually maximum events happen in a convention until like midnight at most.
Yeah.
That we saw.
Yeah, so Japan, if you've been to Tokyo, you would know that Tokyo, especially areas, there's certain areas in Tokyo that, I mean, they are known for their nightlife. I mean, it's all about the nightlife. There's so many things going on at night. It's like a different city at night than it is during the day.
We're not talking about just red lights district area.
No, I mean Shinjuku and Shibuya is just at night.
It's just happening.
And it goes on and on and on, and it's like people don't sleep. It's 4 a.m, and there's still tons of people everywhere.
Outside,
everyone,
inside.
there's
Eating.
Yeah. So anyway, all these years, right? We've brought many different experiences. I'm sure you loved some of the things that we brought. There's many things that we brought, like the Sailor Moon musical. That was pretty cool. The Evangelion exhibition. Just so many different experiences,
Godzilla.
right? Godzilla and so on. But one thing that we hadn't done yet, even though we were talking about it for a long time, for years, we were trying to figure out how to do it, was a night festival. And when I say night festival, I mean like a night Japanese festival, like a Japanese Matsuri. And what this is essentially, there's always many festivals all around town in Tokyo. Some of them are small, some of them are big, but they're always going on.
In the J towns across the country, there's also, night festivals that I've seen and experienced, like Nikkei Festival in California and whatnot, and Japan Festival somewhat here.
Yeah, but Japan Festival here isn't a night festival.
Yeah, it's not very, it's limited. Let's just put it that way. But there are night festivals and I guess beer, what is that, outdoor beer?
Like beer garden?
Beer gardens, yes.
So it was one thing, so this is something that we've been talking about. And in the video I mentioned, this is something we would like to do and we're hoping that we can make happen in 2021. We're hoping that the stars will align. So, just to give you an idea, like a visual idea, right? Let me show you here. So this is what I'm talking about. Something like that. It's very festive. It's outdoors. There's lanterns everywhere. There's an outdoor stage. There's taiko drummers. There's the Japanese festival food. There's beer, drinks, It's a big family event, and this happens at night when it's dark outside.
People dressed up in their kimonos most of the time.
Correct. So it's mostly, this is more the traditional Japanese stuff than it is pop culture,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
But still pop culture.
Correct. But this, I mean, something like this,
More traditional.
something like this, we always thought this would complement AM. And if you look at the outdoor campus around the convention center, you have Discovery Green across the street, and that is perfect. We have a park that's really awesome. That's right there across the street, and we can pull something off in the park. So we mean there's going to be something while AM is going on inside the building. This is happening outside, and this is all part of the same Anime Matsuri experience, right? So and every time we bring this up in a staff meeting, everybody gets super excited. It was like,
I mean, just
oh, man,
look
let's
at
do it.
all the lanterns.
But it's something that we were never able to pull off. Every time we would say, hey, let's go for it, something we would it's almost like we'll hit
There's
some
a lot
barrier.
of there's a lot of permitting that has to happen, and there are beer gardens and a lot of drinking and whatnot too. So you have to get certain permits, and how do you figure out all these logistics? Anyway, that's usually the case.
Okay, so now, right? Join us, right? Let's go over, because now we're serious about going for this in 2021. So we are planning to debut this Night Matsuri at AM 2021. All right, so now you can join us, and we can go over what it means, what we need to do, what needs to happen, how the planets need to align for this to happen. Right? So we're going to share with you from the point of view of event organizers, from the point of view of AM organizers, how this would work and what we need to do, what we all need to do
All of us.
to make that work.
Before you get started, JM Templar just did a super chat. Thank you, JM Templar 25 with the $5 super chat. Sub AM family. I've seen and heard this before, and this is happening. So is this the night festival?
Yes, this is the night festival. This is the night festival we've been talking about. We've been talking about this for years, but lately this conversation has come back up, and we're hoping this is the year. 2021 will be the year to do it. Okay,
Let's try.
so what are we going to, what is needed, right? So first of all, this is the most important thing, right, that we need to make this happen. Is first of all, we have to get permission to do this from the city, as in the city of Houston. So the city of Houston has to agree, and they have to say, okay, you can host this on the days and the time that we want on that weekend. If they say no, well, that's going to set us back. I mean, like, really.
We'll have to fight.
Now, Discovery Green isn't owned by the city, so technically, we don't need the city to agree on this, but
It definitely helps.
it helps a lot. And I don't think we'll be able to pull this off on this scale without the city's backing. So basically, that's what we're saying. We need the city to support this idea. Okay? That's the most important thing. When we get past that, okay, the next step is we need to secure Discovery Green. Now, last year, so in 2019, we had, I'm going to show you real quick. So this is, okay. All right, this is a map of Discovery Green, right? Now, on the right side, this is where the convention center is. So the George R. Brown is on the right side. And on the bottom, that's Lamar.
Hilton.
So on that street where it says Lamar at the bottom, at the very bottom of the screen, that's where the food trucks were parked. And the Hilton Americas is
Below that.
Above, all the way to the top, that's the Marriott Marquis. So just to give you guys some orientation of what I'm talking about here. Now, this, where it says Jones Lawn right there in the middle of the screen, this is the biggest lawn from Discovery Green. Now, usually here during AM, there's cosplayers and photographers and just people. There's tons of people, right?
And
Now,
sometimes Discovery Green does have some small event there as well.
yeah, there's some events there. Now, check this out. Now, what we're planning to do is we're planning to use the Grace lawn. See here? Like it's below Jones lawn right there.
Closer to the Hilton side, yes.
Yes, closer to the Hilton side. This lawn right here, it's pretty big too. That is where we're planning to do this. Now, because we're going to have alcohol, like beer, that area needs to be enclosed.
Yeah, so it has to be fenced or something.
Yeah,
like that.
as this is as per city regulations. You can't just sell alcohol out in the open like that.
No.
Right? So this lawn is where we're planning to at least for 2021.
Yeah.
Right, and that's a pretty big lawn
Because
so
it has to be secure. You have to, make sure that people are ID'd and stuff like that.
Yeah, so this is what it looks like. This is a picture of that lawn. I think this is a couple of years ago. There was an art festival right there, as you can see. So this picture was taken from Jones Lawn, looking to Grace Lawn. That's what it looks like, right? So we would need to contract Discovery Green so that this is exclusively for us. So that's the second thing we need to do. Right. Now the third thing, this is where things start getting into complicated territory.
Before we do that,
to get all the permits. Oh, what are you gonna say?
God Dr. J Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would love to experience night festival like this one.
Yes.
This is a lot.
Yes, God Dr. J Mac. Thank you so much. I know. I would love that too. Okay, so
The third part.
Floofy Cat. No underage patrons allowed, right? No, it's a family thing, so anyone can go there. However, because there would be beer, the areas that are going to be the areas for drinking alcohol are going to be separated from the rest of the festival. Does that make sense? So there'll be like a little fence thing, whatnot. So there's a clear marking between
Open stuff and then it will be segregated.
Yeah, the alcohol part and everything else, because the idea is this is like a family thing. So there's games to play and there's things to see. So you can take your kids there. That's fine. It's just if you can't take them into the enclosed area that serves alcohol, if that makes any sense. Okay. Right. All right. So permits. So we would need permits, and we would need a lot of permits. Right. So we're talking about permits like noise permit. Yes, we would need that because this is at night. It's going to get noisy. There's going to be some drunk people.
There's actually residents nearby.
Yeah, there is. We want to do this at night, and can you believe it? In Houston, in July, so in the summer, do you know when it gets dark? Guess when it gets dark. I mean, right now, well,
It gets dark at 7, right?
November is actually
6:30.
6:30. It gets dark. In July, it gets dark at
8:30.
Yeah, almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that just to give you an idea. I mean, it starts. When I say dark, I mean like dark. So it probably starts getting dark around 8, but by the time it's 9, it's complete dark. Correct.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, we need permits. So if you're gonna do anything, any kind of outdoor activity, party that you're gonna make noise. Yes, you would need a noise permit. We would need an event permit, food permit, fire permit. We're gonna have
tents.
The fire marshal out there. I mean, there's gonna be some cooking and open flame. So yeah, we would need all those permits, and those permits are
Individually.
complicated. Correct.
You have to apply them for individually.
Yes, that's right. Now, besides that, we would need the decor. So we need to give it some atmosphere, right? And this is what, and we're talking about like the lanterns, right? Like we're talking about lanterns, the stage, lights, and you know what we must have a Torii gate, like a Torii shrine gate. Like if you don't know what that is, it looks like something like this. Like that.
We need that.
We need that. I mean, it's not a night Matsuri without that. And obviously, this all adds to the experience, to the atmosphere. It makes it cool, right? Every time I see these Torii gates in Japan,
and the reason why we would have a stage is like there might be some cultural dances, and there might be some, activities or exhibits or exhibitions that cultural events that might happen up there. I've seen like kabuki, done. I've seen traditional zither performances and stuff like that.
That's right. So that we need to do that. So we need to build that somehow. Somehow we need to build it and put it there some way where we can carry down and use it every year. So there's got to be some way to do that, I'm sure. So if any of y'all
ideas,
a good, if you guys are good with like a hammer and a saw and some wood, let us know, because we need to make this happen. All right. So that's the decor, right? Then we would need the entertainment. Now this is where things get spicy, interesting, because we need entertainment. When I say entertainment, I'm talking about taiko drummers. See, this goes back to the noise permit, right? Taiko drummers at night. I mean, when those guys.
You can hear like probably if it's outdoor, you'll probably hear it a half mile to a mile away.
So when those drums go off, yeah, that's what we're talking about. It's a party, right? So if you haven't experienced live taiko drummers, you're missing out. You should check it out. It's really awesome. We've had taiko drummers a few times at the convention, and
it's been indoor usually, but outdoor is a whole nother thing.
Correct. Now, besides taiko drummers, as Deneice mentioned, a kabuki show, it's really awesome. It's something we've always wanted to do again at the convention, even inside. And there was a year we got really, really close, but we just couldn't do it because of, I can't remember what it was. But
I think
something like this,
last minute they couldn't make it.
Something like this, it's a must to find a real Japanese kabuki performer or performers to come and put on a show. It's something interesting. It's something you don't see often. I've never seen that in Houston. I'm not sure if they've had anything like that at the Japanese festival.
Not outdoor live like that. I think there has been at the Jones Hall, like maybe it's a ticketed event. I know some of my friends went before. It was a taiko kabuki event, but those are very expensive tickets.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's like a theater event.
Yeah. So we're talking about like a real Japanese kabuki show. They're coming from Japan and they would perform, and it goes well with everything, with the entire night festival. So this is awesome. So I think this is a must. We must have this. Okay, so moving on, right? That is, what is that? That is the fifth thing we need, entertainment. Now the sixth thing, here we talk about...
These are a lot of things.
Food and beverage. All right, so now we're in food and beverage territory. Okay, so we have, as of now, we have about 14 food trucks, right? And any of you guys that went on Lamar to the food trucks, even with that many food trucks, some of them at peak hours have long lines, really long lines. It's, we started off with about 5 or 6, and now we're at 14, and even with 14, the lines are still long. The lines are super long, especially the popular ones. Oh my God, it's a long, long way. And because they're outside on Lamar, they're not exclusive to Anime Matsuri customers. Right. So anybody from downtown, anyone can go there and buy stuff.
Especially all the employees of the hotels, they go out there.
Yeah, so downtown, they love
the food trucks.
The food trucks during AM because it's one of the few times that you see food trucks
that many.
Yeah, in downtown Houston. wide variety of them, right? But even with that, and we're talking about the kind of food and beverage I'm talking about for this event is more specific to this kind of event, right? So when we talk about beer, we're not, we're talking about like just any beer.
Not Bud Light or
that's not what we're talking about.
Coors here, no.
Yeah, we're not talking about like Bud Light. We're talking about like Japanese beer. So here, we're talking about like Asahi, and Sapporo. That's what we're talking about.
Kirin.
Right. So it's if we're gonna have a beer garden, it has to be with Japanese beer. That makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make any sense any other way, correct? So that we would need. Now to have that, now we go back to the thing with the permits.
There might be actual sake too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just
this is just a sample.
Whatever kind of Japanese alcoholic beverage we're serving, we still need permits for that. We need to. I mean, there's many things that need to happen for this to happen, right? The Arden War said, Bud Light is water, not beer.
True that.
True that. I hear you. I won't argue. Yeah. So, beer, very important, right? So this, we need to make some deals. We need to talk to some people, and we need to make this happen, right? And I think,
suppliers.
Again, serving beer outside, open air, at nighttime, it's amazing. That's an amazing idea. It's just really complicated. There's many things that we need to do first.
I mean, you're wondering why. I mean, this is actual, how the experience like that in Japan, but here, that's the whole point.
Correct. So now, besides beer and sake, right? And we're talking about like maybe different types of sake. I mean, there's going to be a variety, right? Mm-hmm. Now into the food territory. Now for food, we're talking about Japanese festival food. It's not just Japanese food. There's specific foods that they serve in these festivals. So we're talking
not
about like
sushi or anything like that.
We're talking about like like takoyaki or okonomiyaki, things like noodles,
yakisoba.
Yeah, like yakisoba. These kind of foods are very popular in the festivals over there in Japan. Now, we don't have, well, not to my knowledge, we don't have like a food truck that serves this kind of Japanese festival food here. So I am almost certain that if we're going to pull this off, we need to find and we need to get some food vendors, right, that would, set up like in a tent and whatnot to serve foods like this, right? Now,
Takoyaki.
So just to explain this a little more, right? The food and beverage permit, because obviously if we're serving food
More
in a
permits.
tent, that's more permits outside. And if they're cooking stuff there, which they probably will be,
Open flames.
if they have propane or however they'll, this is going to be prepared, there's more permits for that, depending on the fire marshal and what's going to say and, and whatnot. So there's that. But what you have is some delicious food. Yeah.
Very flavorful.
Have any of you guys tried takoyaki? It's the it's a little
Octopus
ball,
balls.
yeah, with the octopus, with the cooked octopus
Flavors
inside,
and some
and the takoyaki sauce on it.
Takoyaki
Oh,
sauce,
it's so delicious. I know, so delicious,
mouth watering right now.
right? Yeah. So there's that, and then I guess finally we would need to put together a new department to handle this outdoor festival. So at Anime Matsuri, we have different departments that handle different parts of the convention. And each department is like its own self-sufficient department. And all our departments work together, and they work together really well. But for something like this is a completely new department. And besides the staffing, we're also talking about security, because we're outside and all this stuff is going on. So this would be the last thing. Staffing, and security.
AOT style.
Now, this is just what we need to put it together. So we're not even talking about the actual programming, what's going to be happening, the games, the vendors, and all that. This is just in a nutshell, what is needed for us to put this thing, or to get it going. So during our staff meetings, these are the items that we're going to be discussing, just to give you guys an idea, just to take you guys with us behind the scenes of what is needed and what we had to do to make this happen. Right, so we thought, hey, that would be pretty interesting. I mean, if this interests you guys, I don't know if you guys are interested in hearing this kind of behind the scenes discussions. Okay, right? Now, there's one thing which I think is the most important thing of everything is the support from you guys.
Oh yeah.
The point of pulling something like this off, right, is because it is needed and you want it.
Demand.
Not because we just feel like doing it and we're bored and we just...
Like we need to add more things to.
I know.
Damn.
I know. Your support will make all the difference. Will pretty much make or break this idea.
Yeah.
I think. Because everything I said, everything on this list, we can pull it off. Right? But your support is something that, will come from you to help us and make this happen. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be something that you would like, to see. Because if you don't want it, then there's no point in doing it, right?
JM Templar 25, $2 super chat. Thank you. Have a Food Wars stand. Get some anime food.
I know, right?
Yeah. So part of the stage would be kind of like something like, Cup of Noodles War. Eating contests. Some kind of like ramen contest we've had before. We have done that actually on Discovery Green before. But things like that, like to add to the atmosphere of, contests and playfulness and whatnot. So definitely Food Wars, something like that.
Oh yeah, we have some ideas for programming. So the programming aspect will come. We'll start discussing that after we put all this together. Oh yeah, there's some exciting ideas when it comes to like food. Oh man,
so many possibilities.
So many possibilities. So this is a brief presentation. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on this Night Matsuri edition to AM 2021? And obviously, if it's something that works and if it's something that is well supported, you guys like, then we do it every year. It's something that we plan to do every year if possible. So 2021 will be the first one, and that will lay the blueprint to something that we can replicate every year. And the good news is Discovery Green is big enough. As it expands, if it gets bigger and we need more space, we have more space.
No, there's plenty of space.
In the park.
Acres and acres.
Green itself, all of Discovery Green is 12 acres. So that's a lot of space.
Massive.
I know. Yeah. And if anyone's asking why 2021, well,
we need to make things more interesting and make up for some things that we didn't get to do this year.
Yeah. Well, and as I mentioned, we've been talking about this for years, but every time we would get really busy and we would get in crunch time and things get pretty crazy with AM, and then this gets somehow just
in the back burner.
Yeah, gets put on the back burner, and because there's so much that needs to happen for this, kind of like, okay, well, we'll do it next year and we'll do it next year. But this year, since we had no AM this year, even when the pandemic started, like earlier on in the year, we told ourselves, if we can't host AM this year for some reason because of the pandemic, let's do the night festival in 2021, because now we have enough time to plan for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, when we say also support, not just in agreement, with what we're doing, but basically we would definitely need people to, come to the convention, get their badges, tell their friends, share the news and like talk about it, bring it up in different ways, talk about AM. So the support from you guys is definitely the yeses and whatnot, but also the input and the sharing and the support on the financial level of the badge of getting your badges and participating at Anime Matsuri. That's all part of it. The support that we're
Correct.
asking for.
Yes. Yeah. So for us, we invest in AM heavily.
Everything.
Yeah, we invest. We really do, and I'm sure that you guys that come to AM, you can see of how much we put into AM.
Yeah, the little things that we don't have to do, we do. You know.
So the money from Anime Matsuri that we get, we invest that into Anime Matsuri, so we can get bigger and better. And I think this is one of the main reasons it gets bigger and better every year.
I mean, we invest in you guys for double the rollover for next year and the following year. So we're investing in you guys coming to the convention and supporting all the participants in there, including vendors, artists, industry groups that are coming, guests that are coming. So that's our investment in you so that you can attend Anime Matsuri 2 years. I think we're the only convention that's still out there that is rolling over for 2 years. No other convention is not even doing that.
No.
So we're investing in you guys. And this is our way of, again, what we said, since the postponement announcement is that we want to thank you for being a part of this, because right now everybody's, hurting. So we want to thank you guys for your support in that sense, and making sure that, moving forward, that you guys continue to support us as well.
Yeah, and Anime Matsuri, Japanese culture, Japanese pop culture, all the exciting things that Japan has to offer, this is worth sharing with people. It's worth doing. Just being the CEO of this convention, I feel very happy to be able to bring these kind of experiences to Houston.
Oh yeah, it's thrilling for us.
Correct. There's the sense of satisfaction, and it brings joy and happiness to make other people happy and see other people happy. Something like this, is something that we don't have in Houston yet.
I mean, we're talking about late night.
Yeah,
festival.
We don't have this yet. And we love this. The only way to have this in Houston, we'll just do it. That's it. So it's a big undertaking. It's going to be.
It's not something that, let's just work on this like 2 months before the convention.
Yeah. So we're in November. What are we?
Yeah.
8 months? 9 months?
9 months.
9 months. We have 9 months before AM 2021. And if we jump on this and start working on this now, possibly we can make it happen. And just imagine we would start working on this in the middle of a pandemic again,
See, this is probably the good part about the pandemic. We were able to be a little bit more focused on the things that we've been wanting to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim Templar 25, thank you for this $10 of chat. And the dancing rocks.
Yeah, it's
in a happy.
Yeah.
And Japanese fans. Thank you. And Fluty Cat, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Your chat says, I like your fan-focused investment, a very high bar for other cons need to follow. May you get high rewards in return.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We appreciate that.
Yes, we appreciate that. Thank you so much. We do our best.
Yeah, we don't do it so that other conventions follow. We do it so that you guys are happy.
Yes, and we genuinely want to bring the best
Yes.
experience we can. Every year, we try to better ourselves.
Definitely. And a way, one of the better things to do is to give back.
Correct. And and when we say you guys determine what happens at the event, we mean it.
Totally.
It's you guys. We don't play God at our event. Like, we do whatever we want to do just because we want to do it and we're running the con. No. It's what you guys want to do. And I'll give you, I mean, there's very many, if you look back at the history of AM, right, you'll see that that's true. When you guys asked for just a guest, any guest, like, for example, look at Vic Manana. Right, even though he had issues and whatnot, you asked for him, and we brought him to the convention. That was it. That was good enough. We didn't need any other justification. And there was many other events that asked, "Hey, why would you do that? Aren't you worried that
this and that?"
Yeah. This is going to look bad for your convention. And all we said was, "Well, no, because our attendees." The attendees that
were requesting
pay to come to the convention, they requested this guest. That's good enough for us. So it doesn't matter. This has nothing to do with what we feel, or do we like that guest or not, or whatever. No, it's you guys. Now, obviously, we also add our own flair to it. So because we go to Japan, so we want to show you guys new things.
Yeah, exactly. We're not to say that we don't try to bring new ideas and new events to the convention. Definitely not. And you guys have a choice also when we do to experience it or not experience it. So it's okay. Those ideas, that's a gamble on us. If we want to continue it or not. So it's always like ever changing. We're going with the trends, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we get the best experience to you guys, how we perceive it also when we go to Japan and when we experience it over there. So we want to be able to share that for sure. It's definitely not about forcing you to do certain things or forcing you not to do certain things. Let's just put it that way, right? You shouldn't be saying no to this guest or yes to that guest. That's not how we run the convention. We ask you guys for your opinion. I think over the years, you definitely see how much that we emphasize your input means a lot to us, and your requests. And this is our way of showing you, like in conversations like this tonight, just regularly nowadays. We want to be able to ask you guys for your opinions.
Yes, and we try to keep politics out of our event, and it's about the fans. Just have fun, and that's what we want. And we do our best. I think that we have a very awesome thing going on. We have one of the best convention centers. We have one of the best outdoor campuses, like the park, and the city works with us. We went to the city because we were growing so big that we had to go and ask the mayor for we needed the city to help us with things. We have probably one of the two best hotels in Houston for you guys, for the attendees. The Marriott Marquis and the Hilton Americas Houston, these are probably two of the best hotels in Houston. And that weekend, these are for our attendees.
I mean, right. One thing I want to say too is that we're not this big corporation, right? That goes and to events and say let me take it over, or let me push for this to happen. We have been running this event ourselves and being part of the community for over 15 years. And so we want to make sure that what happens in Houston, in our town, it actually reflects on what we do, and that's why we take pride in this. We're not a big corporation where like we're throwing out money to give you guys certain things or other companies. We want to make sure that the experience is there and that you guys are having fun.
Yeah. So we don't have any big corporate sponsors.
No.
None of these companies, like Crunchyroll or Funimation. No, we don't have those kind of sponsors. You know who the sponsors for AM is? You guys. You guys are the sponsors. That's right. So we can decide. We do whatever we want and whatever makes us happy. Nobody tells us what to do. We decide what we're going to do. And that weekend, the weekend of AM, it's all about us, right? The attendees, top priority, right? They're the most important people in the building.
Yep. Got Dr. J Mac. Thank you for the $5 super chat, and with the fox saying bravo. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yes. So there you go. That's the Night Matsuri. That's something that we want to add to our event next year in 2021, and we're hoping that we can do it. We're hoping we'll get support for this from the city, from the attendees,
Multiple layers.
just from everyone. We know it's a crazy year, and it's still crazy. It's not over yet, and I'm sure come 2021, when the pandemic is over and when things start getting better, things will change for the better. But if we want to pull this off, we cannot wait until 2021 to start planning. We have to start planning now, and every day, every week that passes is and
it's been a little tricky just because things aren't open up all the way. Certain companies aren't ready to like discuss and whatnot, but we're still on our end, on the back end, we're trying to figure out how to do it, make sure that the plan is set in place, who's going to be involved, and what kind of ideas that we should have on the table.
Yes,
so at least the discussion is starting.
Yep. Yes, it is. So it's exciting. There's many exciting things. We've been working on AM 2021 for a while. We have many exciting things to share with you. And this is what we do. These live streams, we let you guys know what we're planning, what's going on. And when announcements are ready to be announced, we would let you guys know. You guys will be the first ones to know. We've held back quite a bit for our guest announcements and announcements for programming. That's because we feel we should just wait a little longer. But we're working on it. Every day we work on this convention. It takes that long to put this thing together. And I gotta say, we have our staff. The Anime Matsuri staff, the Anime Matsuri team is the best. I think there's some of them in the chat. Sebastian,
Jason,
and
Scout.
Scout, whoever else is here in the chat. These guys are the best. They're MVPs.
And many others in the staff. Thank you so much for continuously being here with us.
Actually, one of the reasons I feel confident we can pull off this Night Matsuri is because our staff is outstanding. I don't think there's anything. We've come up with some crazy ideas, and of course, there's a lot of panic at first.
There's a little. Oh, yeah, there is a lot.
There's a lot of panic at first, and then excitement, and then
you just got to do it.
But when we pull it off, the feeling
of accomplishment
is huge.
Like Shibuya Crossing, that was a huge undertaking, for 2019. I mean, we've had the car show before, but to create the actual atmosphere of Shibuya Crossing along with the car show on top of it and the booths around it, that was difficult. Laying out the carpet, just things like that. I mean, just logistically and mentally straining. So it's a trying thing. That's even within our exhibit hall. So just minor things like that. But it takes a lot of work. So our staff has been extremely hype with us in terms of wanting to do things. Initially, a little bit like, why? But then, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Archangelo. Or Archangel of Life.
Oh, yes.
Nothing wrong with 2021 being just a return to a gathering of fans and worry about big attractions another year or two from now. Well, at AM, AM itself is a big attraction, and many things within AM is a big attraction. The
Oh yeah,
just most of the main events
that's
in
because
the
I was just
convention,
gonna say that
they're all big
Main
attractions.
events.
You know, the Hentai Fest, cosplay contest, concerts,
Nerdless,
Nerdlesque, and so on and so forth. The
fashion show.
K-pop concert that we're
Concerts.
planning for Thursday is pretty big. There's many big things we're planning, and yes, I know it's almost it sounds kind of crazy because we're like, are you sure that we can do all this in 2021? What about, what's going to happen in 2021 in July and whatnot? We're confident that by July of 2021 things will be back to normal, and even if they're
we're
not
so glad it's in
100%, what?
So glad it's in Houston.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in Houston.
Other parts of the country we're not too sure about, but Houston.
But the idea is just always push forward. So as far as, we're going to celebrate. It's going to be a big party because we're going to celebrate just being back after a year
Oh my
of
gosh.
not having, not just AM, just not having any event. So we'll be happy
Any
where
major event. So
Yeah.
technically, 2021, it will be 2 years.
Yeah,
That we didn't see you guys.
I know.
Isn't that a crazy thought? So anyway, that's more reason for us to push forward.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, so push forward, and we're confident that by probably March, April, this will be all done. I mean, at the latest,
June.
well, this will be done, and we can just,
And if you
need to have some fun.
forgot, if you don't know, for those who just tuning in, maybe Anime Matsuri 2021 is happening July 8th through 11th, 2021.
Yep, 8th through 11th. On the 8th is that's when it
Thursday.
kicks off. It's our day 0, and that day is going to be the K-pop. It's
Concert.
K-pop day. On the 9th, which is Friday, that's when the exhibit hall opens. So
Everything
the convention
opens.
starts at noon.
There's gonna be again, we're gonna announce some stuff along the way for Thursday, more Thursday stuff, but a lot of announcements.
Yeah.
We haven't even really announced anything.
Yeah, well, noon on Friday, on the 8th. That's when the exhibit hall opens and goes on until the 11th, which is Sunday at about 5 p.m. when everything is over. But those 4 days is going to be 4 days of fun.
Madness, but fun.
And we have a feeling there are going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people next year. A lot. I mean, even right now at events, I see events around town, like outdoor events or something
yeah.
in the park, and there's already like
A bunch of people.
a bunch of people.
We're talking about Houston here, yeah.
Yeah, so 7 months from now.
Slowly but surely.
Yes. All right. If anyone has any questions, we can answer them real quick. Yeah,
No
and no
sleep.
sleep. That's right.
For sure, no sleep.
Team no sleep. Team no sleep in the house.
Well, we figure this is how I think of it, is that we build up all this for over a year and a half of planning for one convention, and it's the time to shine, right? In terms of all the things that we want to give to you guys and all the things that we want to have you guys experience. It's time to actually work it, and that's why we go all out. We hardly sleep. We're exhausted, but the adrenaline is there. Seeing you guys, checking everything out, doing all the cool, fun stuff. That's exciting for us. So definitely, we
Yeah.
go all out.
And just a quick reminder, this Saturday, starting at 4 p.m., between 4 and 9 p.m., we're going to be at the grand opening for a new place called the Weeb Stop.
The Weeb Stop. Some of you guys.
It's not far from here. It's on I-10, somewhere around I-10 and the Beltway, right there. And I'll show you. Well, hold on. No, there.
Yep, grand opening. So it's happening this Saturday, November 7th, from 4 to 9 p.m. Is that right?
Yes. Here you go. That's the address right there.
Definitely check it out with us. We're going to be there. We're going to have some really cool stuff that we showed you last time on the stream, which is products, merch that we still have, or actually that's new, that we're supposed to have been sold for the 2020 convention. So we have that. And then we also have a little bit of a, I guess, display of hentai stuff for you that was supposed to be part of Kabukicho inside our exhibit hall. So definitely check it out. Cosplays, highly encouraged.
Yeah, so we'll be there. If you can, if you have time, just come on down. And come hang out with us. We'll be there between 4 and 9 p.m. this Saturday. We also have another event on the 21st at Kinokuniya, but we'll... we'll tell you about that later.
Oh, yeah, after... We'll start talking about that next week.
Correct, next week. So that's it. That's it, guys.
Jason Nguyen, thank you so much for the $3 super chat. Oh my gosh. Thanks for giving me a shout out, John and Deneice. We appreciate you, Jason, so much. God, Dr. J Mac, thank you for the $5 super chat. Let's not mention, or try not to mention, the C word for remainder of 2020 anymore. LOL.
I agree. Yeah, let's not say it anymore.
Team no sleep. Absolutely.
All right, guys. Once again, thank you for
so
joining
much.
us, and we'll see you guys either on Saturday or
Next week.
Yep, next Thursday.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon. Take care. Good night.
Bye.
And stay nerdy.